guys, welcome to our lesson number 1. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about quality assurance, also known as QA. We're going to talk about career and job market overview. We're going to talk about testing, about the salaries, about the industry, about what we do at work, and we're going to show you what we do at work. Also, at the second part, at the end, we're going to answer all of your questions. So please bear with me. I will answer all the questions. Most likely, you will hear most of the answers during today's lesson number 1. But just in case that you will still have questions, we will definitely answer them at the end. I will open the chat for you at the end because I don't want you to be interrupted, and I want you to focus on what we have for you today. So the first part is going to be with me. It's going to be 1 hour where I'm going to introduce you everything that I mentioned before. And the next hour going to be the lesson with our teachers. And the last 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I'm going to answer all of your questions. So long story short, QA, it's quality assurance. And what we do at work is we are making sure that everything is according to what is expected, according to the requirements and according to design. It means that everything looks, works, and feels good. Okay, so for example, if you have a mobile application on your phone, if you have iOS or Android, you have a mobile application that you use, okay? Or you have a website on your laptop. It could be Windows or Mac. You just go to your browser, you go to our website, for example. That's a web application. Whenever you have it on your phone, it's a mobile application. And usually someone creates those applications. For example, someone designs it, someone actually creates it, for example, developers or programmers. And then we, QA people or testers, we come to verify that all looks, works, and feels good, okay? That the buttons work, that they take you to the right links, that they take you to the right place, that everything looks nice, it's not weird, the user experience is nice, and we're gonna talk about it soon more into details. It's very, very simple. Let's first understand who this course is for. So it's for someone who wants to start a career in tech, and also for someone who is looking to get a job within the next 2 to 4 months. Usually the job search takes between 1 to 3 months, but it could take even 4, and you need to be aware of that. It could take 4, and sometimes it takes 5. Usually it's 1 to 3 month job search, especially if you follow instructions. You also need to have work authorization in the United States. It could be a citizenship, it could be a green card, it could be EAD, asylum, any kind of work authorization that allows you to work anywhere, anytime, without restrictions or sponsorship, okay? You definitely need to be proficient in English. It doesn't need to be a perfect English, but it's definitely should be something that everyone can understand, and you can understand everyone. So they will know that you won't have any communication problems at work, okay? So we have a lot of graduates who are, immigrants, and their English is not perfect, but they still are getting the QA jobs, okay? So don't worry about accents at all. You just need to speak English. People need to understand you. You need to understand others. And of course, you need to know how to write English. Also, you need to be ready to accept 70 to 100K salaries, because that's pretty much the salaries in manual testing. And it doesn't really matter where do you live. We're gonna talk about the salaries for different regions and states and cities soon, okay? So bear with me. What you don't need any technical background. I know that some of you think that you need it, but you don't. You don't need any computer science degree. You don't need to have any development skills. You don't need to write code. You don't need to learn coding, okay? In manual testing, you don't need that. In manual testing, you just need to follow instructions and speak English. Also, you don't need to buy any equipment. For example, if you have any kind of laptop or a computer, that's good enough. We have graduates that graduated the course on their phone, on their iPads. I'm not saying that that's perfect. I think that you should have a laptop or a computer because that's going to be easier. It's going to be having, you know, a bigger screen. As long as you hear us and you see the presentation, you see the lessons, you don't need to buy any other equipment, okay? Cool. Now, let's talk about why people choose this career. So, first of all, usually they follow the money. And according to Indeed.com, the ranges of QA salaries are between $54,000 to $105,000. But that's only the ranges. Now, in the real picture is whenever you are prepared well, whenever you know what you're doing, whenever you know how much you're worth, whenever you know how to answer interview questions, whenever you are prepared, you definitely can make much more. You can make between 70 to 100K, and that's what our graduates are getting. So let's talk a little bit more about the salaries, because I want you to get familiar with this website. It's called Glassdoor.com. This website allows to see the average salaries in QA, okay? And basically, not only in QA, it's also in any other profession. But let's talk about QA today. So you just write software QA engineer and you search for it in your area. So for example, in San Jose, you will see that the average salary is $88,000, but that's only the average. We don't really care about the average. Why? Because we're going to prepare you to be much better than the average. That's why our graduates are making much more than the average. Our graduates in the Silicon Valley are making, between San Jose to San Francisco, are making between 70 to 100K. And actually, we have even more, but let's just talk about the average. It's between 70 to 100K. Some of them are making 100, some of them are making 110, some of them are making 90, some of them are making 80, okay? So that's about the average. But if we go to other city, for example, New York, and we're gonna see the average there is much less, for example. You're gonna see that the average in New York is $73,000. But our graduates are making 70, 80, 90, and 100K in New York. So the average doesn't really mean much. Let's just give another example of Seattle, Washington, or Chicago, Illinois. They're gonna have very similar numbers, and the average says 74,000, but our graduates are making 80, 85, 90, 95, and 100,000 in those cities, okay? So it means that the average doesn't really, it's good, it's nice to understand and know the average, but we're gonna prepare you much better than the average. Also, I want you to get familiar with this website called Dice. It's a website for job search, and it's just a good indicator to see how many jobs are there. So if we go to New York and we search for software QA engineer, and all of you after graduating this 1 month program, you're going to become software QA engineers. Actually, it's going to have different names. You can call yourself manual testers, functional testers, UI testers, different names to same kind of job. So many of those jobs going to be called software QA engineer. Some of them going to be for you and some not. We're going to definitely teach you how to apply for the jobs and how to get the jobs. But you need to understand that whenever I search now in New York and it shows me 1,000 positions, first of all, whenever it shows more than 200 positions, it means that the market is hot and you have a lot of positions around. That's first of all, because those numbers I saw before COVID, okay? That's like the nicest, best time ever to get a job because you have so many jobs. Just maybe a month ago or maybe 2 months ago, it was showing 400, 500 positions. Now I can see 2 times more. Now, it doesn't mean that all of those positions are going to be 100% for you. No, but a lot of those positions going to fit you 100%. Even some of the positions going to ask you for more in the job description. For example, automation, Python, Java, Selenium, WebDriver. Even those positions, in 60% of the cases, they will not really need that. It's just something that someone copy-pasted in the job description. And in most cases, they will just hire a manual QA engineer like you. How we know that? Because our graduates are getting jobs all the time. Only for the past 2 weeks, we had 7 people that got jobs just the past 2 weeks. And many of them applied for jobs that we're talking about automation, Selenium, but they just hired them. Why? Because someone who knows automation, someone who knows programming languages, he will not work for less than 110K. Okay, let's say 105K, okay? And those positions are for 80, 85, 90, 95, 100K, okay? That's the reason why you can definitely apply to those jobs. So you see in New York, a lot of opportunities. If we go to different other areas, like, boom, let's go to Chicago, for example. Boom, Chicago, Illinois, almost 600 positions. Los Angeles, let's see how Los Angeles is doing. 600, ooh, interesting number. Okay, let's see how San Francisco or San Jose is doing. Okay, I'm sure that you guys gonna have the time to get familiar with this website to see the amount of positions. I don't want to waste too much time there, and you will definitely see a lot of opportunities across the country, not only in New York, not only in the big cities, but across the country. We have right now already 14 states where our graduates are getting those 70 to 100K jobs. So why they are doing it? Because we have a lot of benefits of QA jobs. First of all, it's very, very easy to learn. You don't need any programming languages, and it's super simple and straightforward, and you will see very soon how it looks. The compensation is very good. 70 to 100K is considered a very nice salaries in most of the country. You also don't need a computer science degree, and it's a shortcut into the IT world. There are opportunities for career growth as well, and you can go forward into management, for example, to become a QA lead or a QA manager, or you can go into technical field and then become an automation engineer. Now, when you do that, you will be able to make much more than 100K. The average salaries for automation engineers are 110 to 170K, but it's going to be much more complicated. And there, you definitely will need to learn programming language and algorithms and a lot of things that some people will be really challenged, okay? So let's not talk about it now. because right now our goal is to get you 70 to 100K job. And after you do that, that's going to be the best time to explore the opportunities to go forward into something more complicated, more advanced, but that's not the idea of today's lesson. So let's just focus on what we have to offer you for 70 to 100K right now. Also, you can work remotely, guys. Until March, we didn't really have a lot of jobs in QA remotely, but since the pandemic, we have a lot of opportunities. Why? Because people can work now anywhere. It doesn't matter where you live. In the United States, as long as you live here, you can apply to jobs in any other state or city. And if before you were, able to apply only to positions across your area, across your city, now it doesn't really matter. You can apply anywhere, you can work from home, and you don't need to be in traffic. All right. And of course, a lot of QA jobs around us, as we saw on DICE. And you can see other websites like LinkedIn Jobs, Glassdoor.com, Indeed. You will see a lot of QA positions. Now, I mentioned before that this job is basically has different names. Okay, some gonna call it quality assurance engineer, some gonna call it software test engineer, software QA engineer, QA analyst, QA tester, manual tester, functional tester, UI tester, black box tester, test analyst, quality engineer. So different names for same kind of job. And of course, you will be able to apply to all of those positions after graduating this 1-month program. Now, according to Forbes magazine, QA is considered one of the most happiest jobs in the United States. Number 2, okay? Don't ask me the number 1, I don't remember it, but you definitely can Google it. Forbes happiest job, QA, and you will see that it's real. Definitely, that was the reason why I decided to go into QA. I actually read this article first, and then I started getting familiar with quality assurance. Now, let me tell you a little bit about us. In our course, we have intensive practical training from industry experts. Soon I will show you our teachers, our dream team. We have teachers from Google, from Apple, from Facebook, from Intel, from the top companies in the Silicon Valley that are going to share with you their knowledge, their tips, and help you to get your QA job as soon as possible with the maximum rate possible. Also, we're gonna have internships with references that will really help your resume. It means that you don't need to look for internships after the course. No, right after the course, you will join one of our internships. We work with different startups, different companies, where we have real teams, real product, and you will be working on a real project for at least a couple weeks. If you will need more, you can stay longer, but I think that after 2 weeks, you will know more than you need, okay? So the internship gonna be waiting for you at the end of the course. If you want to join it a couple days before the end, you can do that as well. And the internship is going to be also remote. You don't need to go anywhere. You can do it from home. You can choose the time that works best for you, because we know that many of you have families, work, and other obligations. So we are trying to do our best to adjust the internship for you, something that you will probably not find in other places, because usually when you come to the internship, you just be there you're going to be there all day. In our case, you can be there as long as you need, and 2-3 hours a day gonna be more than enough. You can choose the time. It could be in the morning, in the evening, in the lunchtime, during the weekends, whatever works best for you. And of course, those internships gonna allow you to tell letter during interviews about your project, about your team, about what you've been working on, about how you were communicating with your team, with the managers, what kind of issues you had, how did you execute test cases, how did you write test cases, how did you write bug reports. You're going to have access to tools like Jira, TestRail, and everything you need in order to impress the companies during interviews and in order to get this job really soon. Also, just to understand, we're going to have convenient online sessions and one-on-one calls with mentors. So the online session is going to be like one today, which is basically a Zoom meeting where we're going to teach you the material, teach you whatever you need, also answer your questions. And in case that you were not able to attend the meeting, you will always get the video recording of the lesson to your email, usually after a couple hours after the end of the lesson. You will get it so you can watch it again or the next morning, whenever it works best for you. Also, once you graduate, you will have our mentors. Right now, we have 65 people working for JobEasy, and we have about 10 people working as mentors. So we're gonna have, invest a lot of resources to make sure that you're gonna be on the right path and that somebody gonna take care of you and gonna make sure that you have the nice resume, the nice LinkedIn, that you sound good, that you're prepared well for the interview, and you don't only know what you're talking about, but you also sound very well, okay? Same goes with LinkedIn, resume, interview preparation. That's gonna be with your mentors. We're also gonna help you with job applications if you will need this help. I always recommend people to apply by themselves, but just in case that you will need our help to apply for you, we can do that as well. We also gonna have graduate meetings every Saturday. After you graduate, we're gonna be there with you till the victory. The graduate meetings, it's not something that we just recommend, it's a must, okay? Until you get the job, every Saturday, you come to this meeting. It's 1 hour, maybe 1 hour, 20 minutes. Every Saturday, we discuss there all the hot topics and answer the questions. Also, I bring there the success stories of graduates that already got jobs and share their experience with others. That's about the grad meetings. Also, if you cannot watch it on Saturday, you always can watch the video recording. So we also gonna have a guarantee because you pay us only after you get a job in tech. Most of the money that we make, it's whenever you get the job. We do have a registration fee of $799, but after the registration fee, you don't pay us anything else until you get the IT job. If you don't get an IT job, you don't owe us anything. If you get a job for, let's say, 3 months, and then you are being fired or something like that, you just pay us the time that you've been working in IT, and then you stop until you get your next IT job, okay? I just want you to understand that. We're gonna talk about the details really soon. Also, if you're gonna get a job which is gonna be less than $25 per hour, we're not even gonna take your money in this case, okay? Because you came here to get 70 to 100K. There is no reason for you to go and take 24 or 25 per hour. We're gonna teach you how to make $35 to $50 per hour, which is 70 to 100K per year. Now, let me introduce you our teachers. We have Yuri Sokolov, who has more than 7 years of experience in quality assurance. He's currently a QA lead at Google. And by the way, guys, you are welcome to add each and every one of us to your LinkedIn connections and to see more about, more of our experience. We also have Natalia Atif. She's a QA lead with 10+ years of experience in companies like Intel, Apple, and other Silicon Valley companies. We have me. Max Lubachansky, I have more than 7 years in QA and worked at Apple, Intel, and many other Silicon Valley companies that you can see on my LinkedIn profile. We also have Alex Khvastovich, who has more than 7 years of experience in QA. He's a QA manager at United Power, and he worked in many other Silicon Valley companies. We have Lana Levinson. She has more than 8 years of experience in manual and automated testing. She's a senior software development engineer in test, and she's gonna prepare you very well for the interview questions, and she's gonna also introduce you many interesting tools and she's gonna introduce you many different tools, and she's gonna share with you different tips and tricks regarding the job hunt. And she also is the head of our automation program, which is the more advanced program that you would be able to join after you finished manual testing, and hopefully you got a job in the first 2, 3, 4 months. After that, that's going to be a perfect time for you to consider automation, but it's definitely not for everyone. We also have Patrick Siebenthal, who has more than 6 years of experience in QA. He was working at companies like Facebook and Intel, and he would also be one of our teachers. Let's talk about success stories. I started from the fact that for the past 2 weeks, 14 days, we had 7 success stories. Just like yesterday it was 6, like just yesterday I found out it's 7, okay? Another guy got a job after 2.5 months of job search. Now, most of those stories are pretty much the same. It's 70 to 100K after 2 to 3 months, sometimes 4 months, but the rest is pretty much the same story. They were following instructions and they were getting the jobs in 2, 3 months after graduating this 1-month program. We have now people working in the in the top companies in the United States. We have people working at Google, and not only in the Silicon Valley, but also in New York, also in other areas. We have people working at Apple, Amazon, Slack, Samsung, Facebook, Uber, Salesforce, Intel, Nike, Verizon, AT&T, and many more. We just don't have enough place to put all of the companies, but we definitely have people working across the country in 14 states in different companies and startups. Some of them you know, and some of them you never heard of. But everyone needs quality assurance. So regarding success stories, I would like to show you our our website. So once you go to Job Easy, you'll find here insights with success stories. Once you click the success stories, you will be able to watch videos of our graduates telling about their success story, how they got the job, how they're doing the job, and it's definitely going to open your eyes about what is going on here, about what we are doing and how we are helping people to get jobs in the IT world. Okay, some of them have like 3 stories in one video. All right, now if in case you read Russian, you also can read the Forbes article about us. That's me, which gonna tell you more about how we are helping people getting IT jobs in the United States. Now, you also can see our reviews on Facebook, on Google, and read more about us. Now, let's talk about our success map. So this map is being updated. Every month we have something new, almost every month. Just for the past like 2 weeks, we had Philadelphia, Pennsylvania that joined the list. It was not here before. And we have Columbus, Ohio. We didn't have anyone there before as well. So as you see, we have already 14 states. And I'm sure that with your help, soon we're going to cover all of that map, because in any big city, you will find offices, you will find IT jobs. And right now, just for example, we don't see here North Carolina, but I know there's a lot of jobs there, a lot of jobs in Detroit, a lot of jobs in many, many other places that are going to appear on this map really soon. Let's talk about the salaries. The salaries right now, from what we see, it always can be better, but from what we see at the moment, we see salaries in Seattle between 70 to 100K, in Portland between 70 to 85K, in Sacramento it was around 70K until yesterday a guy got 80K, so now it's between 70 to 80K. In the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, we have a lot of people getting jobs for making 70 to 100 and even 110K. But let's just talk about average, 70 to 100K in the Bay Area. LA, we have people making 70 to 90K. San Diego, people making 70 to 80K. In Texas, between 70 to 80K. Same goes for Florida. Atlanta, Georgia is very similar, 70 to 80K as well. New York, New Jersey, 70 to 100K. Boston, 80 to 90K. Columbus, Ohio, 80K, 80K, and Chicago, Illinois, between 70 to 100K. In Milwaukee, we had, I believe, 75K. Okay, that's the salaries. Pretty much the rule is that in New York area, Chicago area, Seattle area, and the Bay Area, San Jose to San Francisco, it reaches the 100K. So 70 to 100K. In other areas, it's usually 80 to 90K. But if you go to Texas or Florida, or or maybe Milwaukee, it's going to be 70 to 80K. Same goes with Salt Lake City. Okay, that's the ranges pretty much. What we do at work, that's my favorite part. So guys, let me show you what we were doing at work as software QA engineers. So let's just see an example, okay? Now, this is a website that I actually was testing about 7 years ago when I just came to US. My story was that I came to United States. In couple months, I learned more about QA. I got my first internship. I got like $12 per hour. I worked there for like about 3 months. And during this time, I didn't really learn anything new. And I was very confused because it was so primitive and so simple. And I was always waiting for someone to show me the actual, complicated work, but nobody did that. So at a certain point, I was starting to, prepare for a potential interview, and I took the resume, put it on the market, and started going to interviews. From the first interview, I got my job. It was very simple interview. I got like 30 per hour. After a couple months, they raised it for 35 per hour, which was 70K. And I was very, surprised how fast I was able to get 70K in the United States. I was very happy. And I worked at that company for a year at Toyota San. At the end of the year, they offered me to stay for like 80K, but I got 80K plus benefits and full-time opportunity in other company, which was more like 90K. So I left this company after a year, and I started making around 90K in a different place and a different company. That was my first year in the United States. The reason why we created this course is because we want you to avoid those mistakes that we were doing in the beginning of our journey, and we're gonna guide you and teach you how not to waste your time and effort, and we're gonna teach you exactly what you need in order to get this job in minimum time with maximum rate. So you don't need to wait 1 year to get 90K. If you listen carefully, if you learn well, you can make 70 to 100K in few months. So this website, basically what I was doing there is I was testing that everything works and looks good. So how I was making sure that everything works good, I was just clicking the buttons. For example, this should take me to 2019 Yaris. Weird, it took me to 2020 Yaris. That's a bug, guys. We have a bug on production. Uh-oh, that's a bug, guys. You see, I go to 2019, it takes me to 2020. And you know what? I was not aware of that. It was just, you know, clicking with you guys. I didn't know that that's the situation. Okay, so here we found a bug. Whenever we find a bug, we report it. Okay, now whenever we click the buttons, it's basically a functional testing. We make sure that it functions. It takes you to the right place. It works. Now let's just assume that we have a design document, because usually we have requirements that we use in order to make sure that this looks good or bad. So requirements usually are written and tell you how things should work. And also you always, usually in a normal place, you have a design document, which is a PDF that just shows you how the website should look. So for example, this website appears in a picture that I just, you know, on another screen that I compare to what we actually got. And if I see a mismatch between the expected and the actual, I would write a bug report. So for example, you see this 2019, this one 2019, and this one 2020. Let's assume, just for practice, that this model should be 2019 and not 20. Okay, so in the design document, in the requirements, it says that this model should be 2019, but it appears as 2020. What do we do when we have a situation like that? We are going to the bug tracking system, which is called Jira. We have different kinds of bug tracking system in the world, but Jira is the most popular. And if you know Jira, you're gonna be fine with anyone, any other one, because it's gonna be probably very similar, just probably not as good as Jira, because Jira is the best. So let's get familiar with Jira. That's how Jira looks. And what you need to learn right now is this button, create button. You see that? Once you click the create button, boom, it starts to bring up the form of the bug report. What we do here is we choose the project name that we are working on, for example, Cyan 2020 August. Just let's pretend that that's the project. We choose the project. We write the issue type, which is bug report, because we are QA engineers, QA testers. That's what we do. We write bug reports. So we choose the bug report. Usually it's automatically by default, but I want you to know what is happening here. The next thing is the title, which is basically the summary. Now the summary is basically a short and informative title, which should show everyone what and where is the problem. So I just type homepage, because we are here on the homepage, right? 2020 Corolla hatchback. Homepage 2020 Corolla hatchback model should be 2019. That's the title. Now let's talk about the steps. So the steps gonna be in the description. Now description is basically steps to reproduce with actual and expected behavior. So we write step 1, go to the website. Step 2, observe 2020 Corolla hatchback. Actual 2020 Corolla. Expected 2019 Corolla. Make sense? Title, description with steps to reproduce, actual and expected behavior. Now we set the priority, because this website is one of the most popular cars in the United States. and this number, this grammar mistake or this difference in the number could affect millions of customers and millions of dollars of sales. So in this case, we want to make it a highest priority because it will affect the business a lot. Label is optional, but let's say that you are working on a cyan project, so you can put label with cyan. Do you need it? Not really. But if you are told at work to label tickets regarding particular tickets, or every ticket that you write on this project, you want to label it, you just do it. Environment is basically where the issue was reproducible. So if you guys are using MacBook, you'll write MacBook Pro, High Sierra, macOS, the version of it, and the version of your browser. If you're using other laptop, which is not Mac, you will just write the name of the laptop, the platform, and the browser, okay? So you just write where you found it. If it was iPhone, if it was Android, if it was Windows, if it was Mac, if it was, okay, wherever you found the problem, you're gonna write it over here. I just gave you a few different examples. Cool. Now, almost last is the attachments. The attachments is basically, it could be a screenshot, it could be a video file, it could be some other things that we're going to talk about them during the lessons. For example, log file, but let's not go there right now. It's very simple, very straightforward. So let's just give an example. We can add a screenshot. How we add a screenshot? Because we want to make the life of developer easier. Whenever we write a bug report, we assign it to developer. Developer fixes the problem and then sends it back to us to make sure that it was fixed. And we are going to be testing it to make sure if it's fixed or not. If it was fixed and it's not reproducible, we close the ticket and that's it. If the problem is still there, we reopen it, assign back to developer, and let him know that the problem is still there. So our job is to report issues and to make sure that those issues were fixed. Now, to make life easier for developers, we're gonna always add attachments. So for example, if you want to take a screenshot of this page, we can just click on MacBook, Command-Shift-4, and it will allow us to choose the area that we want to screenshot. But if you want to take the screenshot of the whole screen, we're just going to do Command-Shift-3. It will take the screenshot from the whole page and will create it on your desktop. In case that you guys are using Windows, you're going to have the start button, and there in the search, you will find snipping tool. Snipping tool is very similar, and you can also create screenshots using snipping tool. I promise you that after 5 minutes of investigating it on Google, you will see how easy it is to create screenshots on your computer or on your phone. It's very, very simple. So now we go back to the bug report and we attach the screenshots that I just created. So those two, boom, I click open and they are uploading over here. After they are uploaded, we can choose the assignee. So that's basically the developer, for example, that's gonna be fixing the problem. Usually you work with 2, 3, 4 people and you know who is in charge of what. Who gonna fix, for example, iOS, who gonna fix Android, who gonna fix front end, back end. You will know it after a few weeks at work and you will just address it to the right person. So really quick, we have project name, issue type, which is bug report, title, which should be short and informative and should show everyone what and where is the problem. Description with steps to reproduce, actual and expected behavior, priority, environment, attachments, and assignee. Now final, we click create button, boom. Voila, we have a new bug. Now this is the number of the bug, this is the name of the bug, this is the title, this is the description, and you can see everything here, the attachments, you can leave a comment, So we just created our first bug report. Was it complicated, guys? Because if it was not complicated, you definitely can do this job. That's what we are doing for 70 to 100K in QA. Complicated? I don't think so. Now, let's see what else we can show you. Let's give a couple different examples. So a good example gonna be this website. You see the face of this model is cut off. It's truncated. We call it usually truncated or cut off. Now we don't know if it's supposed to be like that or not because we didn't see and compare the design document. But I have a feeling that something is wrong here. And just in case, I want to double check. I will right click my mouse and click the inspect element. Now, if it looks complicated, don't worry because that's pretty much the most complicated thing I did in my career. So you will not be using it all the time, okay? So in 7 years of my experience in QA, I used this tool for maybe 1 year in one company, okay? So it's not something that you're all gonna be using, but definitely we're gonna prepare you to be familiar with the Chrome DevTools. Basically what it does, it shows you the HTML part on the left, the CSS style on the right. And whenever I click this button on the left, it allows me to go from element to element and to see the size, the color, the font of different elements. Whenever I go to this model, as you see that the highlighted image is taller than it appears. So I have a feeling that something here is hidden. I don't know if it's a problem. I will definitely double check it with the product manager and I will, try to clarify, is it supposed to be like that or not? Now, whenever I click this element, it highlights on the left the code that is the script that is associated with this image. So whenever I go here, I can see the original image, and this original image is not truncated. You see, I can see the whole head. So this tool you can put on bottom and you can put it on the right. Boom. You see that the actual image potentially should be like that. We don't know until we double check, but we definitely want to double check. Now you understand what it means, that everything looks, works, and feels good? Cool. Now this was a UI issue, user interface, basically how things look. Another issue that could be, UI is this guy. You see, he basically, this image overlaps the text. So it's hard to read. And this is a problem. So we call it overlapping, okay? Whenever something is overlapped, something covers something else. It could be a button, it could be a text, it could be different things. Another thing that we like to catch is something that consistent. So for example, you see this model, when I hover the mouse over it, it just changes the color to blue, right? Here, it's the same. So here and here, it's very consistent. But once we go here, boom. You see, it's not the same picture. It just, took half of the image. So we don't see same image, we see a different image. And it's definitely inconsistent behavior that we want to report in bug report like before. Now, another example of a UI issue would be something like that. So let's just go. You see, we have a form, and in this form, you can choose basically checkboxes. And as we can see in those checkboxes, they are misaligned. If they were aligned, they would appear on the same line like here, but they don't. Okay, it looks a mess. Another example is those fields. Whenever we gonna zoom in, we're gonna see that they are not aligned. You see, this one is not aligned to this one, or this one is not aligned to this one. Same goes with those guys. This one is not aligned to this one, and this one is not aligned to this one. So it's misaligned. That's the type of issue that we have here. Another type of issue that could happen is whenever we hover the mouse on the footer, we call this footer. This is the header, and this is the footer. So once we hover the mouse, you see, oh no, my eyes. Okay, you cannot read what is appears here because it appears dark on dark, and it's very hard to read. If you click here, same goes here. Oh no, my eyes. Okay, you got the idea. Very bad user experience. You don't want it to happen. Now, I think the most important thing that we want to test is functionality. So for example, you see we have a button here, shop now, because this is a website. It's a e-commerce where you can buy dresses and clothes. You can order it. Okay, I'm sure you saw before a website with different things that you could buy. So here you have the shop now button. Now, as a user, I'm expecting to be navigated to the cart, right? To buy something. Whenever I click the shop now button, it should take me to a page where you can buy things. So whenever I click it, it doesn't take me anywhere. Why? It's a bug it's a bug because there is an issue. It's not working. We're gonna write it down. Another example, you see this website? It says not secure. Not secure, it's a problem. You don't want to leave your personal information on a website which is not secure. We're gonna write a bug report about it. It's a security issue. The website is not secure. Whenever a website is secured, you will see a lock icon here. For example, if you go to our website, you will see lock over here. It means that it's secure. Cool. Now, more examples. Okay, let's just try and go here. You see those languages? When I click it, doesn't take me anywhere. I think that it's potentially an issue. Potentially, it's a problem. Now, if we change languages, for example, and we just take another language, for example, we choose Russian, and on this language, we scroll down, we can notice things like this. You see, something is overlapping outside of the field because it's a different language and the word is longer than was expected. So this is a problem. It's called overlapping. Okay, cool. So now you understand better what types of issues we encounter. Another issue that I'm sure you saw before is, for example, this one is clickable, this one is not clickable. Inconsistent because they look very similar and I would expect them both to be clickable. Another issue could be when we go to a link and it takes us to 404, not found. Oh no. So we write a bug report and say that this link takes us to page not found 404. Okay? Very, very simple. That's pretty much the issues that we see in our job on a daily basis. All right. I hope it was not complicated as well because it's very simple. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about the course. It's a 4-week online program with one-on-one mentoring. It's going to be Sunday to Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time or 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. You pay us only after you've been hired. The first lesson is completely free. Today's lesson is completely free. After that, if you want to join our next lessons, which are going to start from Sunday to Thursday, you need to pay the registration fee of $799. After each, you don't need to pay anything else until you get the IT job. Once you get the IT job, it's 15% out of your salary every month at the end of the month before taxes, up to 18 months. Of course, as long as you work in IT, okay? So for example, if you lose your job or the contract ends or something like that, you don't need to pay anything after you are not working. You just pay whenever you are working. You have another option if you do not want to pay the registration fee and you don't want to pay the 15% for 18 months. You have an option to pay upfront payment of $2,999, which you pay upfront, and then you don't need to think about the percent of the salary and anything else. This option is without refund. So if you're very confident about your skills, about following instructions, about speaking English, about following our instructions for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, in this case, definitely the upfront payment is going to be the best option for you. But in case that you don't have this money, in case that you are not 100% confident in your ability to do that job, in this case, you can always choose the option of the income share agreement, where you just pay the registration fee and you don't pay anything else until you get the job. If you don't get a job in QA, you won't owe us anything. If you get less than 25 per hour, you don't owe us anything. Okay, cool. Now we also have a bundle option for those that know that 70 to 100K, it's definitely not enough for them. For those that want to make much more, to those that are willing to learn something much more complicated, something much more advanced, something that definitely not for everyone. In this case, if you want to both take manual QA and automation, also you could add DevOps if you want. You can do both, or you can choose one of them, up to you. You will have all the options in your hands. This manual plus automation plus DevOps gonna be registration of $14.99. After the registration, you don't pay anything until you get the job, and once you get the job, you pay 12% for 20 up to 24 months. In case that you want to pay upfront payment for the bundle, it's going to be $5,999. Okay, cool. Also, I want you to know that because today is a special day, it's lesson number 1, and we want to first of all to receive your feedback, because we always are trying to become better and better. So we would like you to leave us your feedback, your review of today's lesson at the end of the lesson. It's not the end, just the beginning, so wait. You will have the lesson really soon that's gonna continue. But at the end of today's lesson, I would love you to leave the feedback using this link that I'm gonna share with all of you right now in the chat. And basically, it will allow you to get $50 discount for the registration fee. In case that you already paid the registration fee, you still will get $50 refund. Okay, cool, awesome. I'm gonna share this link with you right away. Let me just send it to you. And of course, guys, I'm gonna answer all of your questions. So this is the link for the feedback, which is $50 discount. Awesome. Now let me jump into the let me just jump really quick into the syllabus of the course. I will send the link to the syllabus here as well. You're also gonna get this link together with the video of today's lesson number 1, and you will be able to go through it, get familiar with what we're gonna have at each lesson. I promise you that you're gonna have there everything you need in order to get the job in the next 2, 3, 4 months. You're gonna learn all the tools, all the theory, all the terminology, all the questions, all the answers that you need for the interview and for the job. We're gonna get familiar with Xcode, Android Studio, mobile testing, web testing, Chrome DevTools. We're gonna be you're all gonna have access to Jira. You're all gonna have access to TestRail. You're gonna be writing test cases, executing test cases, writing bug reports, working in a team, attending stand-up meetings. You will be prepared very, very, very well to pass the interviews and to become a professional software quality assurance engineer. I will share this link with you right now in the chat. And of course, I will answer all of your questions at the end of today's lesson. Okay, so just bear with me. I will answer all your questions in about 30 minutes. Awesome. Great. Awesome, guys. So, Yuri, how are you? Are you there?
Hello, Max. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Yuri. So, guys, please meet Yuri. That's the QA lead from Google, and the class is all yours.
Thank you, Max. Okay, so let me briefly introduce myself, and then I will introduce all our teachers. My name is Yuri, and I'm one of the creators of this course. And just to tell you a bit about myself, I have more than 7 years of experience working for various IT companies in Silicon Valley. I'm working at Google at the moment, but I also worked for a few startups and many different projects and technologies and tools. So when we created this course, basically what we did, we combined all our knowledge and all our experience working on a variety of different products and projects, and we optimized it to the point of you being able to find a job pretty quickly based on that knowledge. So before, for those of you who do not have any technical background or computer science degree or any other technical skills, that's absolutely fine. I did not have that, so my background, my degree is in design. I was never an IT person. I was never a computer science guy. And when I moved here, some of my friends basically suggested me to look into it because they're working as a QA engineers, and that's what I did. And only after maybe a few months of going through basic training, I was able to find my first job in QA, and I was really amazed how actually fast it was, because it took me just a few weeks and only like 1 or 2 interviews to get my first QA job. So guys, again, no need for a computer science degree. This career itself is super fast-paced, so you don't have to sit for 10 years to move from one level to another, to move from junior to middle to senior QA. No, the IT itself is super fast-paced. It takes only a few months, maybe a year, to get from one level to another, and eventually you have a potential of becoming a manager, becoming a QA lead. If you are more of a technical person, you will always have a chance to move into like QA automation, where you need to know coding a bit, you need to know the tools, or maybe you're a natural born manager and you would like to move into management. I personally know a lot of personal stories where people would start as a basically without having any experience and would get to the level of QA lead or QA manager within just a couple of years. So again, pretty straightforward, not complicated at all. You don't have to be a genius or computer science professor to do this job. It's super intuitive, super straightforward, and we will be happy to teach you what you need to know in order to pass the interview and get a job. So again, welcome guys, and I hope I will see you on my class. And now let me introduce
Let
Max.
me just really quick remind you guys that you're gonna get the video recording of today's lesson together with the presentation. And on this presentation, you will also gonna have the links, the emails, and inside the email, you will also gonna get all the links that you will need. This link over here that I'm gonna share with you right now in the chat, gonna allow you to choose the option that works best for you. And just in case that you're gonna have any questions, you can always email support@jobeasy.co, and I'm gonna get back to you in about 30 minutes answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Okay, let me introduce our teachers. So Lana Levinson is one of our teachers, and she will introduce herself. Hi, Lana. Can you hear us?
Hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. The class is all yours.
Very cool. So thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm super excited to see so many people today. So my name is Lana. I'm one of the teachers here. And just a few words about myself. I've been in QA for over 8 years. Basically, it seems like forever now. I started as a manual QA engineer a while back, but then I switched to automation and I spent the last few years working as a senior software developer in test. So during this course, I will be teaching you some of the pretty important classes. We will be covering things like tools for our QA engineering. We will be covering interview questions and answers, and I will spend a lot of time explaining you how to prepare for the interview. Just a few comments about background. I myself, just like Yuri, don't have any QA or computer science background and degree. When I first started as a QA engineer, I actually had background in economics and linguistics. So I went to QA bootcamp, I finished it and turned into manual QA. And then after a few years, I switched to test automation. So what I'd like you to understand is that QA is not a rocket science, and definitely if you spend your time, if you're trying to understand how everything works, you can definitely get into IT. QA is a great opportunity to get into tech, and you can definitely learn and get your first job. Now, a few more words. Very often, I hear the question about test automation, and people often ask me, like, is QA gonna go away? Manual QA gonna go away because test automation gonna replace us all? I would like to assure you that this is not happening. I've been hearing the stories pretty much since I started as a QA engineer myself, and pretty much nothing changed. In fact, when I started, I remember that salary of manual QA engineer was somewhere about $50,000 to $60,000. At this point in San Francisco Bay Area, I can easily see salaries for manual QA engineers that are around $100,000 or even more than that. And that basically just shows us that this market is still very popular. The market is still growing. There are a lot of jobs out there, and companies still need QA engineers who would manually test and verify a lot of things for them. And just from automation standpoint, test automation is not there just technology-wise to replace manual QA engineers. It's simply impossible at this point, and going to be impossible for the few next years. So don't worry about that, and don't worry about the job security. I hope you will join our course. I hope you will join our class. Just for some of you also, I am the teacher and creator of our test automation course. So if you're gonna continue your education, if you're gonna decide to develop in QA, after you graduate from manual course, you can also join our test automation and basically progress there as well. So that's basically it. That's all I wanted to mention. Again, welcome everyone, and I'm super excited to see you during the classes. Yuri?
Thank you, Lana. Okay, so let me introduce our next teacher, Patrick. Hey, Patrick. All
Hey,
right,
can you hear me?
Yes, the class is all yours.
Great, awesome, thank you. Hey guys, my name is Patrick. I'm also another instructor here with JobEasy. I teach the software development lifecycle and also introduction to Jira. So what you guys really get out of this is the confidence in knowing what to expect when you walk into an IT environment, because I know maybe some people coming to this program have not been in there, and that holds true for Yuri and myself and Lana. And like them, I also didn't come from an IT background. My degree is actually in a Bachelor's of Fine Arts of Animation and Illustration. And why did I take that jump? Well, I was seeing that my coworkers, my friends, were making twice as much money as I was, and they were working half as hard. So if you do that math, it seems like an easier choice to make. But what I have found is I've been able to blend that skill together, both art and QA. So a little bit of my background is I've worked at Facebook and Oculus and Intel, mostly working on virtual reality. If you guys are familiar with the Rift, we worked on that title to help bring it out. And one of the exciting projects was we're able to communicate with internally ourselves and helping design a better product. So if you guys are excited about being able to see new hardware, new software, and being able to have an actual appreciable input into how things are made and created, this is probably the field for you, as well as being treated like an adult. If you've ever worked for a 9-to-5 job where you have to clock in, this is usually not the case. So they give you much more leeway. However, during my classes, I really feel like it's pretty fun. It's relaxed. We learn a lot about the history of software and how it's made, and how bugs are found and where you find them, and what exactly they are. And we're gonna walk you through. So it's not like a traditional education where it's a competition. No, we're here to actually help you understand and learn the material. So like Lana said, it's not rocket science. I'm able to do it. Everyone's pretty much able to do it. And if you have a good attention to detail and a passion, you can keep going further with this. I've seen many friends go to management. They've gone to automation, such as myself. And they've also turned into developers. So there's lots of career progression, and it's definitely not going anywhere, right? If there's an app, it needs QA, right? And before starting out, I didn't know any of this. I didn't know, I thought developers were QAing all of this. But there is a need, and it's here. So I hope you guys all see you again, I think on the 19th, where we will have my class, and it's gonna be a pleasure, guys. Yuri?
Yes, thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. So we have more instructors. Natalia, are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay, can you please introduce yourself? We'll wait, maybe Alex will join us in a few minutes and he will just introduce himself after you, and we can continue with the class, okay?
Sounds good. Hey guys, my name is Natalia and I'm also one of the teachers here. So I am a QA manager and I'm almost 10 years in QA. It's unbelievable, but yeah, it's like that. It's been fun years, so they flew pretty fast. I will be teaching you lots of stuff, and one of the things which I'm going to teach you today is actually the introduction to QA. What is that and why we are all here? So I think I see that Alex entered the room, so maybe we can give him 5 minutes and then I will continue with my class.
Hi, Alex. Can you please introduce yourself? Just tell a few things.
Hey, can you hear me and see me?
Yes.
Awesome. So today I'm going to show you one of the beauties of the internet. I am walking with my wife, taking a walk in the park, and I can talk to you, and we can start talking about making money was Job Easy. And that's exactly how it is nowadays. You can sit at home. Since the pandemic started, I've been working from home, and we will be working till the end of the year and maybe the next year. So work from home is a new norm. You can study at home, and you can start making around 100K a year by doing QA job. So I think that's a good time to invest in your future, in your career, and start making the real money and work at your dream job. We give that opportunity. For those of you who are worried that you may not have proper education or you don't have English, that's absolutely fine. Look at most of our teachers, look at me, all of us are immigrants. Some of us, like me, don't even have a college education. I never finished college education. I just started taking college classes now, and I'm 30. So just because I want to have the diploma in the end, but I was working in the field already for 10 years without having a need for one. Started just like you started now with boot camp. And after boot camp, got my first job and kept on going until I ended up where I am right now. So as a QA manager, right now I'm pretty much leading the whole QA project in my company. So I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great time to invest in your career, in your education, in your future. And I can't wait to see you at the classes. Now, I'll be doing several classes. I'll be doing some basics, some introductions, understanding of testing and methodologies of testing with you, and we'll be going through SQL together.
Thank you.
That's it. Yep.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, Natalia. So I think the class is all yours.
Thank you, Yuri. Thank you, guys. First of all, thank you for joining today. I didn't have a chance to say it like 5 minutes ago, but now I have the chance. So thank you, guys. It's amazing that it's so many of us here. And just a quick background for myself, because I'm sure you want to know who is teaching you. So I came to US about 13 years ago. And out of these 13 years, I've been in QA for 10 years. So pretty much because I had to make a living here and I didn't speak proper English, so I just felt like I teased my sphere because I don't have to communicate a lot. And eventually I ended up here in QA, and now I'm a manager. So I'm like Alex, who was just introducing himself. I'm leading the whole team. So I'm a hiring manager. I'm managing the whole process for our QA engineers. And it's unbelievable because 10 years ago, I wouldn't think of it. I didn't know it's going to be so quick, so fast, and so fun. So I will be doing my best to really represent QA easy and simple for you to understand, because it's really simple. It's nothing difficult. It's nothing which you would not be able to understand, because if all of us understood, then you also will be able to. And I'm going to teach you a lot of stuff which you will be using at work, and some of it you will maybe will not use so much, but you will use it for the interview preparation and so on. So I'm going to go ahead, share my screen, and start the class. And it's exciting today, the first class. So let me go ahead and present now. So now you guys should see my presentation, and we will start from the simple definition, what is quality assurance, because we have so many legends and unknown things, and we think, okay, what is QA? Is it testing? Is it something else? And really, quality assurance is the process. So we follow the particular processes to make sure that we can get to the desired quality level. That's pretty much it. So in QA, we have the set of methods and procedures and tasks which we have to follow, and we're constantly following them all the time. So each sprint, each month, each week, we are doing pretty much same things. And that is why it's not so difficult to understand them, because it's a limited set of things. And we continuously repeating them. So what we are doing, we are not only testing, but we are participating in the whole entire software development process. It includes the requirements definition. It includes the software design, coding, code reviews, software configuration management, testing, release management, and product integration. Sorry guys, let me turn off my my chat because my mom is keep texting me. Okay, now. So pretty much, it's not only testing that we do, but we really have to work around the testing to make sure that we are prepared for test, we are able to actually test, and we are able to maintain the product. So even though we are following the assured processes, it's not possible to have the software without any bug. So it's just impossible. So we never try to get to no bug software. We are trying to get it to acceptable level software. So if it's acceptable level, then we are passing it to the customer. That's pretty much what quality assurance is. So again, it's a set of processes and methods to prevent and to monitor the quality of the product. Okay? Now, what is testing? So not to confuse guys, it's not the same. Testing is an actual process. It's one of them under the quality assurance hood that we are doing because we need to make sure that it's correct and it's complete and it's a good quality one. Testing is pretty much when we put our hands on the keyboard and we investigate what is the state of this particular product? Where do we stand? Is it ready? Is it not ready? Is it buggy? Is it not buggy? So we are the first people who are testing it. So it will be like a customer test that we do. And pretty much our investigation will give us an idea about where we're at. And if someone asks us, like all the stakeholders, like product managers or developers, or even the CEO of the company, you should be able to explain where we stand and if there are any major issues with the product. Okay, now, pretty much we are providing the objective and independent view of the software, which allows the business to appreciate and understand the risks of implementing the new or changed software. What it means is that under the investigation, we perform a bunch of tests, and we have to make sure that those tests are actually working as we expect, because we know what would be the expected result. And if it's matching, then we are good. We are good to go. If it's not matching, then we file a bug. And that's pretty much what testing is, right? Now, the difference between the QA and testing is big, because software quality assurance is a preventative thing. We analyze the whole process, and the whole process includes smaller processes, such as requirements definition and designs and code reviews, which I listed before. But in testing, we actually verifying that this product is actually matching our expectations. And if we see any differences, then it's a bug. So pretty much QA is a big thing, and testing is one of the processes that we do during this whole big preventative process. So I hope that is clear and it's easy, because it's really not a difficult thing. You just need to understand that when we are talking about QA, we are not only talking about testing itself when we do test, but we're also talking about the preparation, so something that we do before, and the maintenance, which we are doing after we release the acceptable quality. Okay, that's what the difference is. Now, this course is the manual testing course. So in manual testing, we have to find bugs by hand. So pretty much we are not using any kind of automation at this case, and we have to make sure that as a user, you will discover most of the issues and they are not going to impact the user experience, whoever user will be using it. Okay, so we'll have to verify that the application, whether it's mobile or web, it works as expected, working correctly. If we see any issues, which is the differences between expectation and reality, then we file a bug, and which is the defect. Once we created the bug report, what do we do next? We have to assign it to the developer, and the developer has to fix it. So it will take him maybe a couple of days, and then you will receive your bug report back, and you'll have to re-verify. So you just have to make sure that it was fixed. For that, you will just go ahead, open your bug report, the one that you filed 2 days ago, and you will again perform the same steps and make sure that you don't see the result that you saw 2 days ago. If you still do, then you would have to reject the bug. If you do not, then you have to close the bug and it is fixed. Okay, pretty much the goal of the software testing is to ensure that the application has no major defects and as few minor as possible. It should be working good enough to have that, to maintain that a high standard and to be able to compete with the other applications, because if it's not able to compete, it's not meeting the acceptance criteria level, then people will not be using it. So that's why we have to make sure that it's at the level which is acceptable by the customer, but we are not trying to get it bug free because it's just simply impossible. Okay, now, since this course is for manual testing, so when do we absolutely need manual testing? What are the cases for that? And there are quite a few, guys, because there is impossible to work only off automation. We always have to have the manual testing done before, and then we have to pass it to automation, if possible. Some cases are not possible to pass to automation. So the first case, when do we absolutely need manual testing, is when there is a need for human judgment. So as a human, you understand that there are some certain things which machine cannot judge, right? You have to have the human brain to analyze the thing that you see. And in that case, automation will not help. So we have to do it by hand, and that's what we do by hand. Another case is when human intervention needs to be ongoing. So you understand that automation is a code which is written to follow the particular path. However, if you change this path, or if you act as a human, then it has to be done it has to be done by hand, because it doesn't have to be predictable. Okay, so we cannot put automation on the cases when we have to be constantly have this human intervention, and that's another case. And also the case which when automated testing is too expensive or time consuming, when, for example, you would have some kind of demo going on or promotion going on, let's say Thanksgiving, and you have a banner hanging on your website for like 2 weeks. You will not want to automate it because it will take so much effort and time, and by the time you finish automating, it's already gone. So promotion is gone. We are not testing those kind of things by automation because it's too expensive and it's time consuming. So that is why we always have to test those things by hand. And so in manual testing, we have to create some preparation before we can actually test. And the preparation includes requirements analysis. So we have to read the requirements and understand them. We are never guessing how it's supposed to work. Instead, we ask and we read and we clarify how the product management thinks it should work. Then we have to create a test plan. And this is usually created by the test lead or test manager. So I will be showing you the test plan and you will know what it is and what it looks like. So pretty much it will serve the purpose of outlining the strategy that we want to use to test the particular software. Now we will create test cases. So I'll be teaching you how to create test cases. And this is basically includes the set of small tests to cover all the possible functionality that it has to cover and to make sure that we tested everything. Okay, now number 4, we have to execute test cases. It means we actually have to run them, we have to test, and we have to see whether we see any differences between the expectations and the reality. And when we see number 5, we are filing the bug, we are doing defect logging. And then number 6, we will have to re-verify that it's been fixed. So that's our way of working, and we constantly work for the same steps. So as I said, it will be repetitive, and it will be repeating all the time for your career, because we constantly do the same stuff. And this is what you need to learn, and that's what you are going to learn in this course. Okay? Now, let me check again. Okay. Now, of course, we are not saying that automation is useless. It's very, very useful, and it's absolutely needed in particular cases. However, it cannot exist efficiently without manual testing. We have to work together, and in fact, every QA team will have manual and automation testers. So they will have to work together, and I'll explain you why. First of all, let's look at the manual testing versus automation. So the pros and cons of both. And trust me, both of them have same pros and cons, same amount. So the pros for the manual is that anyone can test. So pretty much if you can learn it and run the test, you are manual tester, which we all are, right? Another process that it's easiest way to ensure quality, because it's so simple. You just sit and test and you find the bugs, right? It's also great for people who do not have formal testing experience. And in our case, it's all of us who just started. So we all can start from just the base and we can grow from there. And it's also primarily focused on the customer's workflow. So we are just working as a customer and performing the tasks that customer would do: create account, pay for something, get a refund, or something like that. So we are just pretty much the first customer of this software. However, the cons of manual testing are also significant, and they are including, it may not identify all the test cases. We cannot really physically cover everything, right? And it may not identify all the defects. For the same reason, we cannot do everything by hand, because we are old people and it takes time. And it also results in the lower quality because of residual bugs. They will be having the bugs back and forth, and this is normal because when we are doing everything by hand, we cannot catch everything, okay? Now, let's see where we benefit from including automation into our team and how it actually works together. So first of all, automation has faster test cycles because it's a machine, computer runs your tests, and it's really much faster than if you're doing it by hand. Now also it's identifying more defects more quickly for the same reason, because it will run your test suite for 10 minutes and it will find all the bugs and you will spend half of the day. It saves money when test cases need to be run 3+ times. Because when you have to repeat all the test cases all the time, it's really cheaper to have computer do it instead of yourself. It's an excellent way to meet the testing needs of agile development. We will be talking about agile development in this course. You will know what it is. And basically what it says is that when you have to test and develop and release something quickly, then the best way to test it is by using the automation tool. Now, it's also easy to focus on possible workflows. What it means is that you just select the test which you want to run and it runs it. So it's not really getting distracted with anything. It's just, you know, running the one that you told it to. And it results in a higher product quality, of course, because of everything that is above. But the cons are also significant, and I will tell you why automation cannot work without manual testing. First of all, test scripts are typically written by automation testing scripter. So it means that this person has to be found, hired, trained, and he will be writing. It's a developer. Pretty much it's a developer, so it's not that easy to find a good one, right? Now, it requires manual test cases to be written first, and these are then automated. How we work? We always have someone manual who tests the first round, and he writes all the tests. Then this test he is given to the automation guy or girl, and they going by the test case and automate it. So pretty much you have to do a lot of legwork before you can hand it to automation person. Then it requires automation testing platform, which is not always free, and you have to set it up. And it's not cost effective if used for less than 3 test cycles, which remember my example with the promotion hanging on our website. So that's why we have to combine both to be more efficient. And that's why we always have both in every team. So if many years ago we only had manual, then now we combine and we are much more efficient and faster when we work of both manual and automation effort. Okay, now I hope that makes sense. I hope that was easy to understand. And what I want to tell you now is that we are having 3 types of testing. Pretty much it's a black box, white box, and gray box. And you probably saw them in the job descriptions. So what are those? So let's see at them. Let's look at them. Let's see what they are. Pretty much the black box testing is the tester testing only what he sees. So pretty much he will test the functionality, but he will not have any access to the source code. So pretty much he doesn't know what's going on in the background of the application. He only knows what he sees. So buttons, links, and drop-down menus and pictures, where images, wherever he sees, he will be testing. That's a black box testing. Another way, type of testing is the white box. So in white box, we actually have to design some additional tests based on the analysis of the source code. So for that, you need to know the code. And for that, you need to understand what the code is doing. Also, we have a gray box testing, which is a combination of white box and black box testing. So in this case, we have to work off what we see, but we also have to understand how it works in the background to be able to design some additional tests to test the backend of the application. Gray box testing has a lot of tools which help us, because we can use the tools and we can see what's going on in the background. So it's really not a difficult way of doing that. Now, those all 3 you might see in the job descriptions, and they should mean something for you after what I explained. So now you understand what they are, and now you understand how they are different. That I hope makes sense for you guys. Now, I know that we are almost out of time. So market perspective. So for this job, we have to, as a hiring manager, we have to make sure that you understand the basic things which we are looking at the candidates. And you need to, of course, you have to have the basic knowledge. You have to have experience. You have to have the knowledge of the platform and devices. And of course, you have to have good verbal skills, and you have to have a nice resume. So in this particular course, we are going to teach you all of that, what you see, and everything that we think is useful as based on our experience, because as we hire people, we know what we ask, we know what we pay attention to, and we know what people have to know. We include it in this course. So the understanding of this will help you to be able to compete in this job market, and we will make sure that you understand them, and also we will teach you how to negotiate for the better pay rate. Our goal is 80K and more, but of course 80K is just the beginning, because the QA managers and QA leads and QA automation engineers, they are getting much more than that, twice more than that. So depending on your state and depending on where you're at, you would have to get the best conditions for you, and that's what we are teaching you in this course as well. So I will see you guys later. I will definitely hope to see all of you very soon, and it was my pleasure to spend this evening with you. I'll pass this to Max, and he'll answer all the questions that you might have. And thank you for your time. Thank you, guys. Max?
Nice. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you very, very much. Let me just get some more light here. Awesome. Thank you very much. And I will be answering the questions now. I hope everyone can hear me well. and let's see your questions. All right, so I will just share my screen really quick. Just 1 second, guys. Let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen with you. Okay, I just shared my screen. And now let's talk about your questions. Regarding certificates, no, you don't need any certificates in QA in the United States. If you live in Australia or Ethiopia or Belarus, you might need it, not in the United States, so don't worry. You don't need any certificates in QA in the United States. Are there jobs in Washington, D.C.? Definitely. Please check dice.com or glassdoor.com and you will see a lot of jobs everywhere in most big cities. If you have personal questions about contract, you just email support@jobeasy.co. Awesome. Internship, you can do a couple hours a day. You don't need to be there all day long. Okay, cool. Let's see what else. It's just a lot of questions that repeat, so I just skip those. Okay. Nice. Let's see. Whoa, so many questions. So let me find it because I'm a little bit lost here. Okay, so certificates, no need certificates, $50 discount, just submit the survey and you will have all the steps there. It will tell you what to do in order to get your discount. If you're gonna be confused, just email support@jobeasy.co. Okay, cool. How we are guaranteed to get a job. So guys, I can guarantee you that some people will never find a job just because they're not listening to what we are telling and they're not following to our instructions and they are just not doing what we are telling them, okay? Because if you're just gonna do the course and you will not be applying for jobs and you will not be going to interviews because you're not gonna feel confident with yourself, I don't know, you will be afraid of the interviews, we cannot help you, okay? So please help us to help you follow our instructions and you will get the job, okay? Cool. Can you stay as long as you want on the internship? Guys, if I'm gonna say yes, I'm probably gonna have someone who's gonna stay there for 20 years. I don't want it to happen. The reason you go for the internship is to learn what to do at work, how to do it work, and be able to pass the interview answering about your project, about your team, and what you were doing there. I promise you that after 2 weeks, you will know all of that. You will need 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Of course, we're gonna be there to support you, but no need to be there longer, okay? Awesome. By the way, those that were looking for a job in DC, just in case, you can get a job anywhere because you can work remotely. Just like a couple of days ago, we had a girl from New York. She got a job in Austin, Texas, $80K. A guy from Sacramento, California got a job in LA for $80K as well. So it doesn't matter where do you live. You can work anywhere remotely now. Once they call you to come to office, you decide you want or not. If you don't want, you just, you can start searching next to your house, or you can work and search for the new job at the same time. Okay, so whatever works best for you. I can tell you that most of the jobs right now are working remotely, and you should enjoy this opportunity because to work from home is awesome. Cool. About bundle, automation, DevOps, it's not for today topic. Please email support@jobeasy.co and you will get more details, okay? Cool. let's see. Does automation would include manual? No. If you take separate automation, it will not include manual, because manual is very simple and automation is complicated. It's two different things. All right. Let's see. You will get enough experience in your resume after the course plus the internship plus the time that you're going to be looking for a job, which is going to be 2, 3, 4 months, sometimes 5. You will have enough experience to get 70 to 100K or 35 per hour to 50 per hour. We are saying those numbers because we know, okay? If we had other numbers, we would give other numbers. We give you the numbers that you will get after this course. You will get 70 to 100K. Only for the past 2 weeks, 7 people got those jobs across the country in different states, different cities, 70 to 100K, not other numbers, 70 to 100K. All right, let's see. Do you have to pay the registration in full by tomorrow? Yes. Cool. Let's see. No need to do certification exams. You will get the recording of today's lesson to your email in a few hours, and tomorrow morning you're definitely going to see that. All right. Regarding the tech bundle questions, the other courses questions, you can just email support@jobeasy.co and they would love to answer you about that. How are we going to help you with resume? Okay, so actually it's going to be a lot of things. We're going to prepare you for the tools that you're going to have in your resume. You're going to be aware of the terminology, of the theory. You will definitely know each and every bullet that will appear in your resume. Besides that, we're going to have different formats, different styles of resumes, because we don't want you all to look the same. Also, we have more than one internship. We have different internships. We have different companies. We have more than 10 companies, and it's growing. It becomes more and more and more. Some companies are coming, some companies are leaving, some companies are coming again. So it's different companies, different experience in your resume. Some of them going to have web project, some of them going to have a mobile project, some of them going to have desktop project, some of them going to have both. So you will definitely have different companies, different resumes, different bullets, different styles, because our goal is to get you the job as soon as possible, and we definitely don't want you to have same resumes like in other places. Now, what's the difference between us and others? Well, in other places, those basically programs are usually 4, 5, 6 months. We just focused on what you really need, because we know we worked in the top companies in the Silicon Valley. We know exactly what is being asked in this industry across the country now, because we have so many graduates working across US. We know exactly what are the questions. We focus you on getting the job in minimum time with maximum rate, because that's how we make money. And for us, it doesn't really matter if you pay upfront or registration fee. We're going to treat all of you exactly the same. But you need to understand that because a big part of our customers are choosing the income share agreement, our mindset is to make sure that all of you, because whenever you're going to be, preparing for the interview with us and getting the help from us, we're not going to look, how did you pay to us? Was it upfront or income share agreement? We're not going to do that. We're going to treat each and every one of you exactly the same way, a very, very nice way. And we're going to make sure that you are focused on what you need to get this job in minimum time with maximum rate, without headache, without unnecessary information, without spending time on bullshit, focusing only on the things that you really need, providing you the practice, preparing you for the interview questions and answers, telling you how much you need to make, because without us, you will not be able to negotiate well the salary. And we're gonna give everything that you need in order to get the job. We don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste your time. That's why it's gonna be 4 weeks instead of 4 months. That's why we're not gonna let you look for the internship by yourself. We're gonna provide you internship right away, so you don't waste your time. So right after the course, you practice, you know what you're doing, you prepare for the interview, you pass the mock interview with us to make sure that you sound good, and you make sure that your resume and LinkedIn is perfect with us. We double check it, and if you're ready, you start a job search. In 2-3 months, you get the job. To some, it might take 4 months. I believe for someone, it might take 5. If you follow the instructions, it should not take more than 3. Okay? Cool. What else? We brought you the best teachers. Many places, they have people that didn't work in QA for many years, for example. We know exactly what is happening right now. The reason why we created this course is not because we wanted to become another one. We didn't want to become another course. We wanted to become the course that will solve all the problems that other courses had. Okay, so we focused on the relevant questions and answers for interview for mid-level, not for junior, because nobody really asks those questions anymore. We're going to prepare you very well to sound like a solid mid-level person. Of course, after your internship, you will become a mid-level, because having certain experience in your resume makes you already a mid-level engineer. And yes, maybe to some of you it's going to sound like weird, like, oh, you become engineer without going to the university. Yes, that's the shortcut called QA. That's how it works. If you go to my LinkedIn, you will see I'm a software QA engineer. At Apple, I was software QA engineer of a 2nd degree. I don't have computer science degree. I have BA in business, guys. Okay, so me and all of our teachers, we don't have any technical background. I have BA in business. Yuri was doing painting. Lana, I think she was into economics. Okay, so we are definitely not technical, techie, people that come with like techie background. No, we're like you, okay? We're regular people that found out about QA and are working in this industry for many years, okay? Now, 95% of our graduates, they have zero background, zero technical background, zero technical skills, okay? And it doesn't block them to get 80, 90, 100K jobs in top companies across US, okay? Cool. Let's move forward. The internship is not paid, it's remote. It's for you to be better prepared for the interview. Cool. Awesome. Age. Well, we don't really have a limit, but I usually recommend from 21 to 50 years old. If you are 52 and you feel like 33, you definitely can join. Cool. Awesome. Internship. So guys, 2, 3, 4 weeks, you will need more, you can stay longer. I'm just telling you that 2 weeks is going to be more than enough for you. By the way, during the job search, you can continue being part of the internship. Great. Any questions about dates? You just email support jobeasy.co. All right. The names of the roles, guys, I showed you in the previous presentation, remember? Okay, I will show you one more time. You see this? This is the names of the positions that you can apply for, okay? Awesome. Now, references for background check, of course. We're gonna provide it, of course. Great. Welcome, Ayad. Okay, no need the degree. Okay. Let's see. If you're asking about availability for internship, yeah, we're definitely gonna find something that works well for everyone. Great. What is the deadline to pay for the income share agreement? It's tomorrow. Tomorrow, because tomorrow we don't have a lesson. It's Friday tomorrow. The next lesson gonna be on Sunday. So you can do it till tomorrow night. Okay. Great. Let's see. After we send our resume to you, do you fix it and send it back? Wow, it's too early to discuss it, but definitely we're gonna help with your resume. Okay, we know what kind of resume you need. Okay. Any kind of personal question, just email support@jobeasy.co. All right. Can I find the first lesson online? Yeah, but you just had it. And you will receive the video recording to your email, okay? Okay, beautiful. Let's see. What if I miss a class? You can watch the video recording that we will send you after the lesson. Without previous experience, what do I need to prepare for to proceed with automation? You cannot proceed with automation if you're not, you didn't finish manual testing, okay? And you definitely don't want to go into automation before you know manual. I promise you that automation is not for everyone. Manual testing is for everyone. Anyone can do it. It's simple, 70 to 100K, easy. Automation, not for everyone. I'm sure that many people will not be able to understand it or to be motivated enough to sit and learn for 4 or 5 months to understand it. Cool. If I don't find a job in 4 months, let's say, will you guys be still helping me to keep on trying to find a job? Of course. That's why we are here for, to help you. And we have stories. We have people that after graduating, they went for a trip and they came back after 8 months and they started searching for the job again, and boom, they got the job. Just this guy from Columbus, Ohio, he graduated the program. He was searching for the job for 2 months. I think it was November, December. Then he went for a vacation. He came back. He joined the graduate meeting. He started applying again. And in 6 weeks, he got his job, 80K in Columbus, Ohio. Okay, so we have a lot of stories like that. We don't want you to waste your time. We want you to focus and get the job as soon as possible, because it's much more complicated to, you know, come back after a while when you forgot everything and to try again. I recommend you to focus right now, right here, and to get this job. Okay. Your answer to your question is no. Okay. will you do the mock interview? Guy, we have very skilled mentors who are gonna do the mock interview with you, and they are very well trained and prepared by me and other teachers to make sure that they are doing the best possible job. Okay. Can you send the feedback link again? Wow, you don't see that? Damn it. Okay, I will send it at the end. Okay, let me just read the other questions. Okay. Let's see. I just want to write the stuff down she was talking about. You don't need. Why? Just focus and listen. You don't need to write anything. If you're going to write something, you're probably going to be distracted. Just listen carefully to the lesson, okay? Just do that. Just listen, understand what we are talking about. If you need to watch it again, you can watch it again. No need to write anything. All you need, you will get. Just listen and understand. I believe that probably 75% of what you're going to learn is just for you to understand. You will probably never ever going to need it at work. You might need it during the interview. That's why we're going to prepare you very well for it. But at the job, at the actual work, it's going to be much more primitive and simple, okay? Pretty much whatever you saw today, me showing you different kind of issues and writing bug reports, that's your job. You don't really need to, to be using the theory and the terminology, whatever you're gonna learn here. Probably most of it you will never ever need it in your life. But for the interview, you want to be very well prepared. Cool. Cool. Ayad, do not worry. You will get enough experience to get 70 to 100K a year, as I mentioned 3 times before. Okay, cool. Possible to get a job with one of those companies we get internship at? I hope not, because you will get much more money if you apply to others. So I hope they will not hire you. We will teach you how to make 35 to 50 per hour. I don't want you to be hired as an intern and get 15, 20 per hour. No, that's not what we want. How close is the internship to real life work experience? Since I'm not from an IT background. What? I'm not from the IT background as well, and anyone I know. So the internship, how close to real life? It's a real life. It's a real internship. It's a real project, okay? All right. Beautiful. Let's see. You keep asking same questions for some reason about the experience. Guys, I'm telling you, you will be able to make 70 to 100K with the experience that you're gonna have after this 1 month course and the 2, 3, 4 weeks of internships and the 2, 3, 4 months of the job search. You will be able to make 70 to 100K. I hope that you were able to hear that and that you can write it down, okay? No need to ask it another 25 times. I know what I'm saying. Okay. Do you also prepare for interview with mentors and simulate interviews? Yes, of course. Will employee discriminate against you if you are more than 55 years old? Probably. But it doesn't mean that you will not get a job. We just recently had a young girl, she's 50 years old. She got, how much? 75K, I think, in Sacramento, just recently. I think 75K or 80K, I don't remember. I think it was 75. She's 50 years old. I don't think there is a difference between 50 and 55. Nobody gonna look on your date of birth. It's about how you approach it, how you sound. If you feel that you furry, I think that you're gonna be fine. we have a lot of people in the ages of 40, 45, 46 that got jobs, okay? I don't see big difference between 46 to 50. But of course, some people will not want to hire you, but others would. So it really depends. Maybe they need diversity. Just make sure that they feel that culturally you will fit. Okay. All right. So installments. I don't know anything about us having installments. So it's just one payment. If you want to ask support at jobeasy.co if you can pay the upfront in 2 installments, you should ask them. I'm not aware of that. Mohammed, after pandemic, is manual testing job is available now nowadays? Yes, it is. If it was not, we would not offer you that. And if it was not in demand, I would not be telling you about those 7 people that got jobs for the past 2 weeks. Okay, so yes, of course. And now you even have more opportunities, because before you had to work from office. Now you can work remotely, so you can apply anywhere. Will we have access for the materials and the videos? Yes, of course. Yes. All right. On average, how many students are in class? So right now, do you feel that you are in class with another like 70 people? I don't think that you will ever gonna feel that. We're always gonna have those people that are gonna watch the video recordings. So I never felt a difference between 50 people in the class, 100 people, or 150 people in the class, because we're gonna provide you, you know, the material. We're gonna teach you the lesson, and of course, we're gonna answer your questions. Most of the questions are gonna be pretty much same kind of questions. Can you have a deal with company to work remotely being in another country? It's illegal? Probably not. Okay? We definitely not dealing, getting jobs in other countries. You said the classes are one-on-one. How do we ask the mentors questions? So I didn't say that. I said that we do have mentors that are gonna work with you one-on-one, and you're gonna work with the mentors after you graduate the 1-month program, and each and every one of you are gonna have their own mentor who's gonna be in touch with them, gonna guide you what to do, gonna double check with you your resume, your LinkedIn, how you sound answering interview questions, and guiding you all the way to the victory. Okay, great. Guys, I hope that I answered your questions. I see that we had a lot of questions right now, but I know that it's late on the East Coast, so I don't want to keep you guys late, awake for long. I just want to share the links with you again, just in case that, you know, you maybe lost it, or because of the many questions that we saw here, maybe you were, you know, you lost it or something. So I'm gonna share those links one more time. So I just shared with you the link for the discount of $50 for your feedback. Please find 30 seconds to submit your survey. We are gonna really appreciate that. You are very welcome. Great. When we work with the mentors, is that an additional cost? No, why? No need, guys. Our mentors are here to help you, assist you, no secret additional costs. We are here to help. We are here to make your dream come true of getting into IT, getting a nice salary. And if you would like to make more money after that, we would also love to help you with that. But right now, let's focus. 70 to 100K. Depends where you live. If you live in the big cities like New York, Chicago, Seattle, San Francisco, San Jose, it could be 90 to 100K. If you live in Boston, it's going to be 80 to 90. or probably same for Portland, Oregon, same for example in LA. But in other areas, it's going to be probably 70 to 80. For example, in Texas, in Florida, in Atlanta, Georgia, Wisconsin, okay? That's pretty much the ranges of the salaries. Cool. Any manual book? Why? No need. You just need what we brought you here. No need to read any other books. It will just, you know, you will have too much information in your head and you don't need it. You just want to focus on being prepared to pass the interview, to do the job, to keep the job, to get the job. That's what you want. If you want to read after books, please, you can read whatever you want. All right. Yeah. So the $50 discount is basically the discount that you can get from the registration. If you have any other question about the registration fee and the $50 discount, please email support@jobeasy.co. You see this email? That's where you want to email. Great. Great, great, great. I'm glad that you guys excited to be a part of it. I just received a private message. That's why you don't see it. Okay, thank you guys. If you live in Minneapolis, how do you pay me? Oh, I don't know. Should I pay you? I don't know, but you definitely, I'm not sure what's the question, but you can email support@jobeasy.co and they will help you with that. I'm sorry, maybe I didn't understand it. Cool. Great, guys. Let's do it. Thank you very much. I'm gonna keep the chat open for a while, and I will share with you a few more links again of the survey, of the syllabus, and thank you very much. Hope to see all of you on our lesson number 2, which is gonna be on Sunday, and it's gonna be from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, same link like today, okay? Guys, thank you very much and see you soon. Bye-bye.